Okay, so this is a game I played yesterday against one of my classmates, and this game was very up and down, and I think it was really interesting. So I started with the move d4. He played the King's Indian Defense against my Queen's Gambit, and then now we are just playing normal moves, normal developing moves. We both fee and kettle our bishops, and now he strikes with the center of c5, which is a pretty normal move. I tried to defend the center with e3, but I don't think that's a good move since I should have just played the move d5 and gained more space, but that works too. B6 was not a great move because it allowed me to play the move knight to e5, which now my bishop is attacking the rook, but here he could have just taken the knight, and when I take I'll just show it to you. When he could have just taken the knight. When I take the rook, he takes the pawn, which is pretty good because for him. But it's after take and take. Although I took his rook, he got my knight and a pawn. He has a strong center, and like all his pieces are coordinated, and my bishop here is literally doing nothing. So after this, the position would have been very complicated, but instead he played the move d5, which is not a great move because you just give up a pawn. And although like you lose piece the other way too, but like after d5, like you also have a bad center, so you just basically lose a full pawn, which is not good. Bishop e7, we trade and then we trade again. So now I don't have any double pawns. I have a very good pawn here. I can play e4 next and then strengthen this pawn in the center, and he has legit no space. So I'm better right now. E4, yeah, like I said, I just played e4 to strengthen up the position. H4, H5, H4, because I don't want like any counterplay to happen on the king side here. So I just want to play it safe and play H4, and this was like a rapid game, so I didn't have a lot of time to think. Queen to D6. Um, Here apparently he could have played the move knight to G4 to like gain more space to like take advantage of my move because I can't go back obviously. But queen to D6, I don't know what that does, but okay. I attack the queen. Now he plays E5, so now he hopes that I can take en passant right now, because after taking en passant he takes with the queen, and now my pawn in the center is gone, and my queen is on an open file, which is not good. So, but the thing is, I don't have to take en passant. I can just slide my bishop back. And now I have this pawn right now is that a passed pawn because of this move. So this move, I don't think this move was good. Anyway, knight to g4, good move. And here I decided to give up my bishop since like if I move my bishop, then like his knight here is very strong, and like my bishop is kind of useless right now. So I decided to give it up, but I shouldn't have because uh the light square his light squared pawns dark squared pawns are very weak, and I need this bishop to attack his pawn. So without the bishop, his pawns will be hard to attack. King h7, I don't know what that does. I think he was trying to do bishop h6 or something, but that does nothing since I just slide my queen over. So I just play my rook, and then queen to e1. He slides his bishop back. I think he wants to go to this square on this diagonal, and now I realize how strong his bishops were after a few moves here. Here I didn't know what I was doing. After I missed this queen move, so if I move my knight, he can take the pawn, but it'll be very dangerous. So since rook to b1 almost traps the queen, so he moves his bishop, and I played rook to b1 to defend this pawn. Now I realize how strong his bishops were because like I literally have no place to move. Like these two bishops staring up at my board. Although I still have this pass pawn right here, but still, these two bishops are extremely scary. And look at this, bro. This square, like what? Like my rooks are doing nothing. My pieces are terrible. The only thing I have is an extra pawn, extra pass pawn, which is really good. But his pieces, I swear, very nice. So the complicated position is plus 0.35. Fair enough. And then c4, I don't know what he was doing. I try to do the same thing, king here, and then bishop h3 to trade off his bishop. But then I didn't see the move f5, which attaches pawn, opens up his rook, and I suddenly realized my king is really weak over here because this pawn is about to fall. But so I have to first of all I have to um like get some counterplay somehow. So I play the move b3. He takes, and then I take with my rook with tempo. And now my rooks this rook is pretty good. It protects the knight while also causes some counterplay on the b file, and then afterwards I can play rook a to b1. So now my position is not that bad, and I'm winning because I still have this passed pawn. Don't forget, and my pieces are coming alive finally. f3, I wanted to like secure this part of the board so like my king is safe. Queen to c5, apparently that's a miss because he could have played rook a to d8, rook a to b8. I see. Or he could have just played the move f4, which is really scary. Opens up this bishop, tries to, since my pawn is no longer on f2, he can hit this pawn and try to open up my king. So f4 is a good move. But instead, he played the move queen to c5, rook a to b1, just normally developing and getting securing the b file. And apparently, this is a blunder. Bishop to c8, because now I can just play the move e takes f5, and then like, this move literally accomplished nothing. And after it takes back, my king is safe because of this, thanks to these 3 pawns. And I can now play the move queen takes e5. Like, it might look scary, but like bishop g2, like I'm fine. Like everything holds. And I'm up 2 pawns. His king is also weak. I have the b file, and my pieces are pretty good. And this pawn is about to promote, so I'm gonna win. So I could just play the move e takes f5. But the thing is, I missed. I played rook a to b2 to first hold my second rank. f4 is a good move because, again, like my king is kind of weak here. And it opens up the bishop. Queen to f2 because I want to relieve some pressure on my king by trading queens. But pawn takes, king takes, bishop to f4. I almost lost my bishop here. But after king to g2, we trade the bishops, queen to c8 check. And I barely hold right here because my king is still weak. Bishop very strong. I cannot move this pawn. My queen is stuck, and all I have is this pawn and the b file. After some moves here, like I don't know what I was doing here. Like why did I move back? Like there's no point in moving back. I could have just said play rook to c3 something, get the c file and the b file. But like again, I don't have that much time, so I just played it back, and now it's back to equal. Rook to g8, trying to open up my king by g5. So I have to create some counterplay by playing rook to b7. He gets my 2 rooks, but I get his queen. Right here it's equal, but for the computer. But for me, I think I'm in a bad position because his 2 rooks are really strong. g5 is coming, open up my king. My queen cannot do anything. My knight is weak, and my king is weak. So everything is weak in my position, and his position is looking very good. Good bishop, good rook supporting the pawn. This rook having the b file, so very good for him. King f1, not a good move, because I could just play the move like queen to c2. King f1 literally does nothing. I don't know why I played this move. Now rook to c8 is really strong. I have to protect my knight. Otherwise, if I move my knight, it will be really bad since rook to c2 and there will be some pins. And if here, it will be even worse because like c1, rook to c1 will also be a very deadly pin. So instead, I played the move queen to e1. Rook to c7 is a mistake because if I move my knight, then the rook comes in and then my queen is lost. In the real game, I played knight to d1, which loses because rook to c1 is a ultimate plan. Like you can't get like a better pin than this. But here, I could have played the move d6. If rook takes knight, I play the move d7. Rook takes f3. I thought that loses for me, but then king to g2 and I hold because if he plays here, then I simply take the rook. And if he takes my queen, then I take his rook and promote. So he has to play the move rook to f8, and here I have to play queen. He has to take, and then I take his rook. So I survive after this sequence. But of course I can't find the sequence, so I play the move knight to d8, and he gets a pin. Surprisingly, I didn't lose this game because of what happened next. I played the move king to e2, rook to c2. If I go back, I'm dead lost because he can just, I don't know, do anything wins. Like after king here, just like move this rook here and then here. Well, actually not there, but like anything like bishop d2, very scary. Oh yeah, rook here and then rook here maybe that would also work, and then 2 rooks on the first rank, and then boom, 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 everything dies for me. So I played rook, king to d3 because I want him to play this move, and I trade my queen for a rook and a bishop. Now, the position, although I'm down half a piece, this pawn is still here, by the way. Don't forget about this mighty pawn. I'm up a knight and a pawn for a rook, so I have decent chances, but of course the rook is better. But I have some decent chances here. King h6, wanting to play g5 and then getting a past h pawn, which is very scary. Develop my knight. Rook to f8 is apparently a blunder because of the move knight to c4. Takes, knight takes d5. And then these two pawns, connected past pawns, extremely scary. A rook sometimes cannot stop these kind of pawns marching down the board. And plus, I have an additional knight, so here the position is equal. He has to sack his rook in some way. But instead, I protected the pawn because I was scared. Rook here, knight to c4, preventing the fort here and also attacking the pawn. He plays the move g5. We trade. Now he has a pass h pawn. But the thing is, I take this pawn. He can go down and check me, and then after I play here, he can take the pawn. But he has two pass pawns on the opposite sides of the board, but these three pawns are also kind of scary. So instead, he has to go marching straight away, try to promote with this pawn. But here, he makes a fatal mistake. King to f6. Why is that a mistake, you asked? Because knight to d7. Fort. He loses. Because after his king moves, I take the rook. Marches down the h pawn, but it's too late. My king stops it just in time. And of course I can win a knight and 3 pawns. Ooh, what a game.